The 7 things you should never put up with. I need you to really tune in right now. Stop whatever else you're doing. Set the phone down, shut the laptop, and give me your complete attention for what comes next. Because what I'm about to share isn't just friendly advice. These are hard truths capable of reshaping how you see the world, and even more importantly, how you decide to move through it. Here's the thing, there's a battle happening all around us, and inside us too. It's not the kind of conflict that makes headlines. And in every interaction, every decision, you're either winning ground in that battle or slowly ceding it. What separates the ones who win from the ones who lose isn't their savings account, their follow account, or what they drive. The real difference is much simpler and far more consequential. It comes down to what you let into your life, and just as importantly, what you refuse to let stay. Today, I want to walk you through 7 specific patterns of behavior, 7 genuine violations. Call them betrayals of your own spirit, if you like. These are things you must never allow room for. Blood ties and shared history matter, sure, but they don't hand anyone a license to chip away at your spirit, wear down your self-worth, or wreck your peace. Maya Angelou left us with a piece of wisdom that stood the test of time. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. That statement carries a truth she never spelled out directly. Here it is. When someone repeatedly shows you disrespect, disregard for your well-being, or a willingness to hurt you, you're left with a choice. Let's start with the foundation of every healthy connection. The thing every real relationship is built on: respect. Disrespect isn't a small annoyance you brush off. It behaves like a slow-growing cancer. It usually starts small, almost invisible. A snide remark dressed up as a joke, a dismissive hand wave, an eye roll that says your opinion doesn't count, or a habit of showing up late that quietly says your time doesn't matter. Left unchecked, these tiny moments multiply. They spread beneath the surface until they've eaten away at whatever was good in that relationship. Disrespect shows up in more forms than you'd think. It's the relative who talks over you like your words carry no weight. It's the friend who mocks you in front of others for a laugh, then tells you to lighten up when you don't join in. It's the partner who brushes off your feelings, your dreams, your worries, like none of it matters. But here's what you need to understand. When someone disrespects you, they're not just criticizing what you said or did. They're attacking your worth as a person. Without saying it outright, they're telling you that you don't deserve basic dignity or courtesy. Let me say this plainly. I don't care if it's your mother, your father, your spouse, or your oldest friend. Because every time you tolerate disrespect, you're not just letting someone else diminish you, you're teaching yourself that you don't deserve better. Eleanor Roosevelt put it perfectly. No one can make you feel inferior without your permission. Stop giving that permission. The instant someone talks to you in a way that makes you feel small or invisible, speak up. Say clearly, I won't accept being spoken to that way. And if they can't or won't change, then for your own sake, you need to put distance between you. Respect isn't something you earn by being flawless or by constantly pleasing others. It's yours by default. Now let's talk about manipulation. The skill of getting you to move to someone else's rhythm while convincing you it was your idea all along. Manipulators have one signature move, making you doubt your own reality, chipping away at your trust in your memory and perception. They wield guilt like a weapon. After everything I've done for you, turning past generosity into present leverage. They twist your affection into a control mechanism. If you really loved me, you'd. They prey on your insecurities. You'll never find anyone better, trapping you in dependency. Manipulation is especially dangerous within families because it hides behind the language of love. I'm only saying this because I care. Family comes first. Blood is thicker than water. These phrases get weaponized to excuse controlling behavior and crossed boundaries. But here's what they hope you never realize. Real love doesn't manipulate. Real love doesn't guilt trip. Real love never makes you feel unstable for setting a boundary. The most damaging form of manipulate, As the old line goes, the devil's greatest trick was convincing the world he wasn't real. Manipulators run the same play, convincing you that your reality isn't real, so they can control your thoughts and choices. Steve Jobs said it well: your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. When you let someone manipulate you, you're handing over your limited time and energy to serve their agenda instead of your own. You end up making choices based on what they want, not what your own voice is telling you. Call manipulation what it is: theft. They're stealing your independence, your peace, your clarity, your right to and thieves, no matter how much affection they claim to have for you, don't get a pass. Take your power back. Guard your own inner compass. Emotional abuse. This one lands hard for so many people because the wounds don't show. There are no bruises to point to, no x-rays to prove it happened. But the damage is very real, very lasting, and deeply harmful. Emotional abuse is the deliberate, ongoing erosion of your self-esteem, your confidence, your sense of who you are. It looks like constant put-downs, non-stop criticism, veiled threats, intimidation, cutting you off from people who support you, and a steady campaign to make you feel worthless. Intimidation, cutting you off from people who support you, and a steady campaign to make you feel worthless. Intimidation, cutting you off from people who support you. First, they break you down with cruelty. You're stupid, you're worthless, no one else would want you, chipping away at your self-image. Then, once you're depleted, they toss you just enough affection to keep you hooked. But I love you, I'm the only one who gets you, we're meant to be together. It's a cycle built to keep you confused, dependent, and stuck. What makes this especially cruel is that it so often comes from the people who claim to love you most. A parent who tells you that you're never enough, no matter what you achieve. A partner who tells you that you're never enough, no matter what you achieve. It doesn't shrink you, it makes you feel capable of anything. Real love doesn't cut you off from your people or your true self. It draws you closer to the best version of who you are. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Darkness can't drive out darkness. Only light can do that." That's true, but sometimes the most loving thing you can do is remove yourself from the darkness altogether. Sometimes loving yourself means walking away from people who refuse to see your light, and instead try to snuff it out. Trust breakers. Trust isn't just an ingredient in relationships, it's the foundation everything else stands on. It's the invisible thread that binds people together, that lets you feel safe and connected. When someone breaks your trust, they're not just breaking a promise, they're cracking something essential in you, leaving you feeling raw and unguarded. Betrayal takes many shapes. It's the friend who spills your secrets to others. It's the family member who uses your vulnerabilities as their own. In short, it's anyone who convinces you they're reliable, only to prove through their actions that they're not. Betrayal hurts in a unique way because it mixes real loss with real humiliation. You don't just lose the person or the relationship, you lose faith in your own judgment, your ability to read people, your ability to protect yourself. That often spirals into painful self-doubt. How didn't I see it? Who else is lying to me? But hold on to this. Getting betrayed doesn't make you gullible. It makes you human. It means you had the courage to trust, the generosity to believe in someone's goodness. Warren Buffett once said, "It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to destroy it." If we really absorbed that, we'd handle our relationships and promises with far more care. The same goes double for trust. It takes time and consistency to build, and it can be shattered in an instant. Once it's broken, it's rarely restored to what it was. Some people will tell you forgiveness means giving someone endless chances to hurt you again. That's not forgiveness. That's a setup for more pain. Real forgiveness is something you do for yourself, releasing the anger and resentment for your own peace. Trust your gut and guard your peace fiercely. Constant negativity and toxicity. Life is hard enough without deliberately keeping people around who make it harder, who magnify every struggle and drain your energy. Everyone has rough patches and needs support sometimes. That's normal. But there's a real difference between someone going through a hard time and someone who's made negativity a permanent lifestyle. Toxic people drain you dry. They don't just dampen your mood, they siphon off your hope, your optimism, your enthusiasm for life. They complain endlessly, but never lift a finger to fix anything. They can spot a flaw in every solution and darkness in every bit of light. Toxic people drain you dry. They'll pick apart your dreams, mock your goals, and tell you why you're bound to fail before you've even started. This might be the family member who always has something negative to say, no matter how good your news is. It might be the friend who never has anything nice to say about anyone. It might be the coworker who feeds on gossip and drama. Or it might be the partner who always expects the worst and wants you to join them in it. What makes toxic people especially dangerous is how contagious their outlook is. Their cynicism starts to erode your own optimism. Oprah Winfrey said it best: surround yourself only with people who lift you higher. Notice she didn't say sometimes or when they're in a good mood. She said only people who lift you. That's not just a nice sentiment, it's essential to your emotional survival. You get to choose who's in your inner circle, who gets access to your time and your energy. You can choose people who inspire you, who genuinely want to see you grow. This one is critical to root out of your life. Never tolerate someone who refuses to own their actions. These are the people who always have an excuse, always have someone else to blame, always have a reason why nothing is ever their fault. Someone who won't take accountability is genuinely dangerous, because they live in a distorted world where they're always the victim and everyone else is the villain. They can't grow because they'll never own being wrong. They'll always find someone or something else to blame. You've met people like this. The relative who hurt you but insists you're just too sensitive. The friend who cancels plans constantly but always has a good reason. The coworker who makes mistakes but points fingers at everyone else. Or worse, the partner who hurts you and somehow flips it so you're the one blamed for being hurt. A pattern of no accountability wrecks relationships because it makes real connection impossible. How do you build something honest with someone who won't own their part? How do you resolve conflict with someone who denies contributing to it? How do you trust someone who keeps rewriting the story to make themselves look blameless? The myth these people tell themselves is that they're flawless, that problems are always someone else's doing, and that they never need to grow. Don't enable this. Don't make excuses for them. Don't accept the blame shifting. Don't tolerate their refusal to own their actions. When someone won't take responsibility, the responsibility falls to you, to protect your peace, your sanity, your well-being. Your inner balance is too valuable to sacrifice for someone else's refusal to grow up. They should be encouraging your dreams, yet they quietly plant doubt. They should want you happy, yet they seem uneasy, even resentful when you're doing well. Someone who undermines your success might use subtle tactics, backhanded compliments dressed as praise. You got the promotion, I guess they were desperate. They'll fixate on every risk, feeding your anxiety. Starting a business, do you know the failure rate? They'll shrink your achievements. Anyone could have done that with your advantages. Or sometimes it's jealousy. Your success reminds them of their own stagnation. Sometimes it's fear. They worry you'll outgrow them and leave them behind. Sometimes it's about control. Keeping you small and dependent keeps them in charge. But honestly, the reason doesn't really matter. What matters is the real damage it does to your life and your potential. When someone consistently tries to undercut your success, they're not just unsupportive, they're actively working against your growth. And that's fine, as long as you don't let their limits, fears, or jealousy become your own. You don't need everyone's blessing to succeed. You don't need everyone's support to be happy. You don't need anyone's permission to chase your dreams. What you need is the courage to chase them anyway, especially when the people closest to you don't get it or actively work against it. That choice belongs entirely to you. Now, here's something that might be tough to hear. It goes against everything we're told about loyalty, forgiveness, and keeping the peace no matter what. People will call you selfish. They'll say you're overreacting. They'll accuse you of being ungrateful or cold. They'll use guilt, manipulation, and emotional pressure to try to get you to accept things that simply aren't acceptable. But remember this: protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's necessary. Setting boundaries isn't cruel, it's healthy self-preservation. Refusing to accept disrespect isn't heartless, it's an act of self-respect. You can't control how others behave, but you have full control over how you respond. The people who truly love you will honor your boundaries. They'll work to rebuild trust if they've broken it. They'll take real ownership of their actions. They'll celebrate your wins and share in your joy. They'll treat you with the dignity you deserve. And the people who won't, well, as Maya Angelou reminded us, believe them when they show you who they are. Then make your decisions based on that reality, not on some hopeful version of who they might become, or a fond memory of who they used to be. Life isn't a rehearsal. This is the one shot you get at real happiness, real success, real peace, real fulfillment. Don't waste it managing everyone else's emotions, trying to fix everyone else's problems, or chasing love and respect from people who simply aren't capable of giving it. You deserve respect. You deserve kindness and consideration. You have every right to set boundaries. You get to decide who has access to your time, your energy, and your heart. Nelson Mandela said, "There's no real passion in playing small and settling for less than what you're capable of. Stop accepting behavior that you know deep down is harmful and wrong." The 7 behaviors we covered today: disrespect, manipulation, emotional abuse, broken trust, constant negativity, lack of accountability, and sabotage of your success, aren't small quirks to shrug off. These are non-negotiables. These are the lines you don't let anyone cross. Stand your ground, speak your truth, fight for yourself like your life depends on it, because in a very real sense, it does. Your future is waiting for you. Your dreams are calling. Happiness is within your reach. Remember this: you're not responsible for how other people act, but you're completely responsible for what you're willing to put up with. Choose wisely.